Hey, what's going on guys? Before we get into the video, I just want to address the lag before it starts. Certain parts of the footage is kind of laggy. I don't know where it come from because it was playing fine. It seems to have just picked it up from recording it. Hopefully it doesn't distract too much from the content of the video and you still enjoy it. Hey, what's going on guys? I'm Individual Unit and today we're doing something a little different. We're talking about World of Warcraft. If you don't know what World of Warcraft is, where have you been for like the last 14 years? World of Warcraft is a massive MMO RPG that was released in 2004 and was incredibly popular in years gone by and peaked at around 12 million subscribers. I was one of those subscribers, and yes, by that I mean my parents paid for it back at around 2008, 2009ish, and I loved the game. I still think back to the days of me playing it now simply because of how many great experiences it gave me as a player. However, I went from playing World of Warcraft on my family's PC to playing games like Call of Duty and FIFA on the Xbox. Some of the reasons why I stopped playing WoW were, firstly, my family PC wasn't exactly built for gaming, so that didn't help at all. Secondly, I had no one to play with. All of my friends were playing games on the console, and in my experience, games are twice as fun when you play them with other people. The third point is simply my own opinion, and that is that the game got too serious. Now, I know that a game is what you make it, but again, in my experience, it went from a fun, free roam game where you leveled up a character that you built a bond with, to the point where expansions like Wrath of the Lich King came out and you could jump straight to a level 55 character as long as you had one of that level or higher on your account already. This is where I began to fall out of love with the game. Now, the reason I probably didn't like this was because I played the game almost like an over-the-shoulder type of thing instead of what was probably the meta, where you were zoomed out until your character was just this dot that you controlled. And being someone like myself, where I like to build a bond with my character, starting from level 1 and working my way up from there, I personally didn't like the idea of starting as a level 55 character with the Wrath of the Lich King expansion and being a Death Knight. However, I do understand that it doesn't really make sense for a Death Knight to be a level 1 and working your way up from there, but that's just my opinion. The final reason why I stopped playing the game is the cost of it. The game cost something like £9 a month to play back when I had it, and you still had to pay for all of the expansions on top of that. I believe that the current situation is that historic expansions come with the monthly subscription, but you still have to buy the most recent one separately. However, please do correct me down in the comments if I am wrong. Now, I know that games nowadays can be very pricey, especially depending on what edition you get, some of which being around the £100 mark, and that's almost a whole year's monthly payments for World of Warcraft. However, the cost of the game brings me onto the topic of this video. I recently purchased a laptop that was capable of playing games, and one of the first things that I looked into was World of Warcraft, the game that gave me so many amazing memories, and I noticed that you can get the base game for free. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on what the base game includes, but essentially you do not have access to the whole game and all of the expansions. However, what you do have access to is all of the races, all of the base classes, and the ability to play these characters up to level 20. To me, this was amazing. I'm able to get back into my love for World of Warcraft and possibly even subscribe to it again monthly. Now, what does this mean for you? Well, if you're like me and previously played World of Warcraft, but for one reason or another you've had to stop playing, well, now you can get back into it and possibly scratch that little World of Warcraft itch that you had. If you're, however, new to World of Warcraft and have never played it before, then now's your chance to try it. All you need is a computer capable of running the game and the space to download it, and boom, you can now play the game you've possibly always wanted to try but could never justify the subscription price for free and see if you enjoy it. And no, I'm not on commission for this. Another thing I wanted to mention in this video was the idea of World of Warcraft coming to console. I've seen other YouTubers talk about this, and honestly, as a predominantly console gamer, I would love this. There's apparently already a way to play World of Warcraft with a controller, and it puts the camera into a way that I used to play the game that I mentioned before, in that over-the-shoulder type of view, and is apparently surprisingly smooth to play with a controller. I just thought that this was worth mentioning, as I don't think there's enough games like this on the console, and it would be very welcomed in my opinion. Anyway guys, I know this was something a little different to usual, however I wanted to make a video on it as I wasn't aware of this, and possibly you weren't either, so there you go. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do give it a like and comment your thoughts down below, and I will see you in the next one.